What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our season preview for the San Francisco 49ers. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, the 2022 NFL season is about to get underway, and we have the San Francisco 49ers up today. We're going to be talking about their schedule, but first I want to go over their offseason. First, talking about some of their key additions, and I'm sorry, 49ers fans, but there weren't many good ones. Taking a look at the list and looking at the players that they brought in, yeah, you can say Charvarius Ward or you can say Hassan Ridgeway. I just don't like the players that they were able to bring in. Darquez Dennard and Kemoko Turay. These guys, they're not difference makers. They are not what is going to help this team get over the hump. And personally, they focused on the defense, which was already their strong suit, not the offense. When you take a look at the key departures, though, that's when we could take a look at the offense. You lost Alex Mack to retirement. You lost Laken Tomlinson to the New York Jets. And on the defensive side of the ball, Arden Key going to the Jacksonville Jaguars on a 4-year deal. I understand that you might have replaced him, but Arden Key was already in the system. You might as well have just saved him from going to Jacksonville and kept him on your roster. Either way, I don't think that the San Francisco 49ers did a lot to get better this offseason. And the one thing that I thought they should have done was get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo when they needed to. Clearly, they didn't do that. He's been excused from mandatory minicamps. So when we take a look at their schedule, when we take a look at their season, this is going on the assumption that Trey Lance will be starting from week 1 throughout the entire season. And Nick, if you could get us started, what do the first 6 weeks for the San Francisco 49ers look like?
With Trey Lance under center to start the season, it's going to be a little bit rocking. We have them at 3-3 through the first 6 games of the season, with a couple big games early on, getting 2 key victories. In week 2, this is a big game. The Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, in my opinion, I believe they're fighting for the 3rd spot in this division. The Arizona Cardinals locking up that number 2 spot, and the Rams just towering over everybody else in this division. The Seahawks and the 49ers both going through a rebuild, but it seems like the 49ers have their quarterback situation figured out. Trey Lance has to figure out how he's going to work with this offense. Struggled in his first couple appearances last year, and they really didn't make any improvements to get him the help he's going to need to make that leap from year 1 to year 2. So it's going to be interesting, but in week 2, we do have the 49ers getting a big victory over Seattle, which is going to play a big factor in the overall outcome of the season. And then in week 6, this is a big game. 49ers against the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons also going through a big rebuild, getting Desmond Ridder and Drake London in the draft. These two teams are very young and trying to find their footing. And this is a game where you're going to see which team is going to be more prepared for the future. And the Atlanta Falcons just have a better core to go up against the 49ers than the 49ers do to go up against the Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, this is going to be tough to stop, and it doesn't matter if it's Mariota or Desmond Ridder. The Atlanta Falcons are just the better team in this matchup. I think the 49ers are going to have some struggles early on, and this is going to be the glaring loss that lights a fire under them to fix it.
Taking a look at the next 6 weeks, obviously a week 9 bye is going to be a savior for this team as you see them losing 2 more games after the Atlanta Falcons. But I want to talk about that week 10 game against the Los Angeles Chargers, a big time matchup, a matchup that we would fully expect the 49ers to lose, but we have them winning this one. The 49ers defense is one of those that can absolutely stifle an offense at any given moment. Nick Bosa is an absolute difference maker. Nick, I understand that you hate the guy, but you have to give him his flowers, and at the end of the day, Nick Bosa is that guy. I believe that the Los Angeles Chargers struggle when you have a potent defense and the ability to run the football, which the 49ers do significantly well at both of those. So I believe that this is a big victory against the Los Angeles Chargers. Looking at week 12, yet another victory for the San Francisco 49ers, this time coming at the hands of the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are in a prime position to be one of the best teams in the NFC this season, but Jameis Winston is known for having those diabolical games where he can just absolutely crush his offense by by throwing pick after pick after pick. I foresee this being one of those games where he just has an absolutely terrible day out in Santa Clara. He is not going to be able to find Michael Thomas or Jarvis Landry on this offense. The defense is going to have a tough time working that triple option with Trey Lance and the running backs on this team. I fully expect another big victory in Week 12 over the New Orleans Saints.
And then when we look at the last 6 games of the season, we have an overall record of 8-9 for the San Francisco 49ers. And all things considered, I think that's pretty decent for first-year starter Trey Lance. There's a lot of overhaul on this roster. The defense, for the most part, staying intact, and that's going to have to carry them through most of their wins. But 8-9, pretty much being 500 on the season, it's decent to get the rebuild started. But I want to take a look at Week 13 because this is a big matchup coming off that big win over the New Orleans Saints. They're riding that wave, and like you said, the defense is the strong point. They're going to have to come and play against Tua, come play against Tyreek Hill. There's a lot of offensive weapons for the Miami Dolphins, and it's against the former offensive coordinator for the 49ers in Mike McDaniel. This is going to be a big game for Kyle Shanahan to prove that he is the mentor, that he knows more than his protege, and I think that it's going to come to fruition. The 49ers get a big victory over a tough team in the Miami Dolphins that gets them 2 key victories on the season. But then they have an iffy loss to end the year against the Arizona Cardinals, a team that's not going to have DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 weeks, going to be slow to get going once they get him back. Week 18, I don't think both teams are going to be even fighting for a playoff spot, but I believe they're going to be fighting for pride. And this would be a game that puts them over the top in that 9-8 over 500. I just don't think the 49ers have what it takes to get past the high-powered offense that the Arizona Cardinals offer. Nick Bosa is great, but he can only do so much. I think the secondary got lucky last year with the 49ers. I don't think it will repeat twice back-to-back, and I think the Cardinals are able to get the better of them in this final matchup.
At the end of the day, I think that the 49ers are going to have to figure themselves out over time. This is one of those seasons where when you take a look at the landscape of the NFC and the NFL as a whole, it's pretty apparent who sits at the top. This is the time where teams like the 49ers, who are transitioning to the future, transitioning to a new quarterback, to a new system, working with new players and getting a whole new regime under their belt, this is the time to do it. So they're going to be tinkering a lot with this, a lot of different things. And one guy we didn't even mention was Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel, he is showing up to mandatory minicamps, but he's not happy about his placement with this team. I don't know how he's going to be utilized this season, whether he is going to take reps at running back or if he's going to only hold out as a wide receiver. There's a lot of question marks surrounding this offense because if Deebo Samuel isn't the same explosive all-around weapon that he was last year, this 49ers offense is going to struggle mightily. So at the end of the day, I believe that the 49ers are going to have to figure out their identity. That's what this entire season is for. 8-9 is a really good record with all things considered. The way this defense is situated right now, especially in the secondary, and this offense being lackluster outside of Deebo Samuel and some of these running backs, I fully expect that the 49ers are going to have to figure things out come the draft and free agency next year. But I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the 49ers season preview. Let us know if you agree with our record predictions. Let us know in the comments down below. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.